This woman brings in a fascinating piece of history, a flag with a story that whispers of a bygone era. Inheriting this treasure from her great-grandfather, it offers a glimpse into the complexities of the Spanish-American War. Dating back to 1895 to 1898, this flag predates the official war declaration. It represents a Spanish loyalist organization, most likely the cazadores, meaning hunters in Spanish. These groups remained faithful to the Spanish crown during the Cuban Rebellion against Spanish colonial rule. This beautifully framed flag boasts a unique feature, hunting horns embroidered in each corner, symbolizing the cazadores' identity. Unlike the standard mass-produced company flags carried by Spanish soldiers, this one is a sub-flag made with higher quality materials. A conservative auction estimate would place its value between $2,500 to $3,000.
Wow, it's good. Good chunk of change. Oh my goodness.
Jewelry is a storehouse of lore, customs, and priceless memories. It's more than just an item of clothing. The guest inherited a stunning piece of jewelry for her birthday from her Aunt Libby, who received it from her own Aunt Libby, maintaining a cherished family tradition. Despite her mother's disdain for its unique brown lines, the guest found beauty and character in the opal centerpiece. The appraiser identified it as Marcus & Company piece, signifying exceptional craftsmanship from the renowned jeweler Herman Marcus. The Art Nouveau design, accentuated with old mine diamonds and vibrant green enamel, showcased Marcus's meticulous metalwork and attention to detail. The appraiser pointed out the incorporation of vibrant green enamel in the background, a hallmark of Marcus's work. Many of the enamelers under his employ received training from Relic, renowned for their mastery of enamel artistry. While acknowledging the condition of the item, the appraiser said,
"Rewrite that insurance appraisal today. You would have to rewrite it for $12,000.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much. I just never had an idea it would be anything like that.
This charming child's swan sled definitely looks entertaining. Acquired by the guest at a rummage sale 7 years ago, this piece can be classified as an American folk sculpture.
It really transcends being a sled, and it falls into the category of American folk sculpture.
The maker of this sled is unknown. Unfortunately, the maker of this sled is unknown. It is a well-crafted piece of art carved from pine. A screw is visible on the swan's head for support. It was, however, painted over previously, but is now visible due to some time passing. Behind the wings are metal braces that curve with it, and the braces act as supports. The sled runners beneath the structure are also perfectly made of wood. However, the sled's handle was most likely sawed off from a Victorian carriage. With all these interesting qualities, and looking at its present condition, it isn't far-fetched that this piece would have an auction value of
$20,000 to $30,000.
Well, thank you so much. I just never had an idea it would be anything like that.
I am not kidding. I am not kidding.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Congratulations, a fantastic chair.
The guest brought in a chair they inherited from their grandmother's estate.
It was up in the attic. Nobody else knew it was there, and when she brought it down, everyone wanted it.
The chair's origins were shrouded in mystery, but the key to unlocking the chair's history was a maker's mark on the back, an R with a vertical saw, which signified Charles Rolfs, a prominent figure in the arts and crafts movement. Unlike many of his contemporaries who ran large factories, Rolfs preferred a more hands-on approach, working with a small team of apprentices in his studio. He was known for his unconventional designs and pushing the boundaries of the arts and crafts style. This particular chair is a prime example of Rolf's unique approach. Crafted from mahogany, a highly uncommon material for Rolf's creations, the chair blurred the lines between furniture and art with its sculptural design. While the chair exhibited some minor damage, the appraiser assured the guest that it did not significantly impact its value. The rarity of the chair, coupled with Rolf's reputation and the use of mahogany, placed its estimated auction value of
And $120,000 at auction.
However, the current price of this piece is a staggering $220,000.
I am not kidding.
I'm not kidding.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Congratulations, a fantastic chair.
The guest presents a captivating work, an etching possibly by the renowned Albrecht Dürer. Inherited from her art collecting partner, this piece holds both sentimental value and the potential for historical significance. This amazing artwork is not an etching, as the guest initially believed, but an engraving by Albrecht Dürer, a prolific German artist of the early 16th century.
And the artist's name, you're right, is Albrecht Dürer. He was a German artist who worked in the early 1500s. He died in 1528.
Dürer was a master engraver, creating hundreds of engravings and woodcuts that continued to be admired today. The guest partner was an avid collector during their college years and acquired the pieces decades ago. Drawn to its quality and artistic merit, they added it to their collection. An engraving depicts a portrait of Frederick the Wise, Elector of Saxony, one of Dürer's earliest patrons. Created in 1524, the engraving features a dedication to Frederick in Latin along with Dürer's signature and location. Another fascinating detail, Dürer incorporates 4 window panes within each of Frederick's pupils, reflecting the Renaissance belief that eyes are windows to the soul. Considering its quality, the appraiser estimates the engraving's value to be between $5,000 to $8,000 at auction.
I would give this a value of $5,000 to $8,000.
Good, wow, that's great.
More than just a piece of clothing, this piece symbolizes creativity and imagination. The guest inherited it from her mother, who used to work in fashion advertising design in Chicago. Everything about this piece is top-notch, and it's made with the finest materials. It features intricate details and embellishments that reflect the magic of Disney storytelling.
It's French fabric. It's from Walt Disney Productions. It's a great design. It's really soft, isn't it?
Looking at it, you would see that it was crafted with precision and care, ensuring that every stitch made is perfect. The great big sleeve with the padded shoulder came from the military look of the 1940s, which adds to the elegant look. Whether worn by an artist, filmmaker, or an average Joe, this piece is a badge of honor, representing commitment to excellence, and is valued at nothing less than
$500 to $800 each.
Good, wow, that's great.
For a clock that has been in the family for many years, this Banjo Clock has retained its quality throughout time. Passed down from his ancestors to him, these Banjo Clocks used to be called regulators because they set the standard for other clocks to be set.
They were called regulators.
What's fascinating about these clocks is that, surprisingly, they are patented by a man called Simon Willard. For a clock that has been around since circa 1840, this Banjo Clock has maintained its quality and cemented itself as a timeless piece. We can see that the clock is equipped with a well-functioning dial, and the pendulum is also in great shape. For a timeless piece such as this, one that embodies originality and longevity, this clock auctions at
$2,500, and it would be far less than $2,500 if these glasses had been changed.
The Spanish might not be known for a lot of things, but one thing they're revered for is their originality, and this baby chair and trastero accurately communicate that. Created in the 19th century, the combo is actually called a Colonial.
They're what we call Spanish Colonial, and they were made in New Mexico.
And in fact, what makes the combo special is the century in which it was manufactured. For the chair, despite being old and being damaged to a certain extent, has maintained its quality through its features, like the wrought nails used to nail it. The trastero, on the other hand, embodies longevity, owing to the shine it still possesses. The chair is made from ponderosa pine, so that explains how durable it has been throughout the years, despite being subject to the test of time. As these two pieces represent Spanish furniture innovation, they would surely shell out a price of
$1,200 to $1,800.
Okay.
Now, if we move over to the trastero, we'd say $3,000 to $5,000 on the trastero. And I'm so thrilled you brought it.
Thank you. I am too.
The guest received this Lionel Train Set as a Christmas gift from their parents in the mid-1950s, and it's been cherished ever since. Despite living in Queens, New York, the guest has kept it in excellent condition. The Lionel Train Set, featuring the Jersey Central line, is a prized possession from the late era of Lionel trains. Its modern design and aluminum cars made it particularly appealing. The set's pristine condition, including the original boxes, added to its value. The appraiser suggested that a set like this could fetch
$4,000 to $6,000 at auction.
Wow.
Really?
And you have a prime, beautiful example of a great doll.
She's wonderful.
The doll has been passed down to the Guest family, originating from her great aunt and eventually reaching her through her mother. While the exact country of origin wasn't certain, it's believed to be from England. This wax doll dates back to the 1870s or early 1880s and was considered a luxury toy, likely owned by a wealthy family. It came with a complete wardrobe and even the original crate listing all the clothing items. An interesting feature of the doll was its mechanism to open and shut her eyes, operated by a lever underneath her petticoats. Although the maker was not explicitly known, a label indicating Lucy Peck Dolls Bazaar in London provided insight into its origin. Dolls of this type typically sold for $75 to $100 in the 1880s, a considerable sum at the time. Due to its rarity and quality, the appraiser suggested that a Lucy Peck wired eye wax doll like this could fetch between
$4,000 to $6,000.
Really?
And you have a prime, beautiful example of a great doll.
She's a wonderful doll.
The guest presented a Nez Perce cradle, a fascinating object traditionally used to carry babies. It functions similarly to a modern car seat, providing a safe and secure way to transport an infant within the context of a horse-based culture. The cradle is likely created between 1900 and 1920, placing it within a specific historical period. One of the most interesting aspects of the cradle was the use of Czechoslovakian cut beads. These beads, known for their challenging nature due to the way they could damage thread during sewing, served as a testament to the skill of the cradle's maker. This cradle is significant not just for its practicality, but also for its cultural representation. Taking into account both its beauty and its story, the estimated value of the cradle is
Expect it to be $3,500 to $4,500 and possibly more.
Oh, my.
Are you surprised?
Yes, I'm stunned.
The guest clutched a family album, a seemingly ordinary object that held an extraordinary secret within its worn pages. Unknown to them, the album served as a captivating time capsule, filled with Civil War history in the form of carte de vista photographs. This specific photographic format, popular during that era, employed a unique multi-lensed camera to produce multiple identical images at once. Acquired for a mere $50 decades ago, the album's true worth far outshone its modest purchase price. Among this collection, several photographs emerged as particularly noteworthy. This one captured John Menard, a pivotal figure who held the distinction of being the first black congressman elected after Reconstruction. Another has Sojourner Truth, champion of abolitionism, whose life had been marked by the horrors of slavery. Finally, we have here a photograph showing a cane carver, meticulously surrounded by the products of his craft. The rarity and captivating nature of this image placed it in a league of its own. The images of John Menard, Sojourner Truth, and the cane carver each has an estimated value of
$1,000. This one's worth around $1,500. This one I think could bring $2,000 at auction.
At auction, the value of the entire collection is estimated to be in the range of
Between $8,000 and $10,000 worth of photographs.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Are you surprised?
Yes, I'm stunned.
However, the updated value is $4,000 to $6,000 at auction.
Really? Even that is, for Wilson Hurley, it's small.
That's right.
Wow.
The guest clutched a framed painting, a cherished piece with a surprising backstory. Inherited from a former neighbor, Wilson Hurley, the artwork had spent years hanging unnoticed in the guest family home. The painting is showing a solitary windmill standing sentinel in a vast landscape. Upon recognizing Hurley's signature in the painting dated 1960, it's obvious that it's a significant piece within the artist's career. Hurley, a celebrated southwestern landscape artist renowned for his large-scale works, was particularly fascinated by the interplay between nature and the emerging technological advancements of the era. This smaller piece, created during a pivotal period in Hurley's artistic journey, captured this very essence. The lone windmill, dwarfed by the expansive sky streaked with dramatic vertical clouds, embodied this tension. Despite its modest size compared to Hurley's usual canvases, the painting's historical significance and its connection to the artist propelled its estimated value. Taking into account Hurley's reputation, the painting's decent condition, and its unique place within his artistic development, its estimated value at auction is
$10,000 to $15,000.
Really? Even that is, for Wilson Hurley, it's small.
That's right.
Wow.
The guest presented a piece of fabric belonging to her father-in-law, who had been trained as an electrical engineer during World War I. After retiring, he continued working by assisting poorer countries, one of which was Iran, where he likely bought this piece in the early 1960s. The appraiser identified the item as a block-printed Central Persian textile from the mid-19th century.
And they carve the design on the wooden block, ink it, and then print it on the fabric.
The particular piece exhibited delicate fabric, which was considered extremely rare. With extraordinary craftsmanship and delicate design, the textiles were originally created as mihrab panels to be hung in a family home. The appraiser was amazed by the printed textile and the intricacy that the artisan created. Taking into account its historical significance, the appraised value of this beautiful piece was?
It's probably only worth about $3,000 to $5,000.
I see. Okay.
So, which isn't an insignificant amount of money.
You promise not to have a heart attack, though.
The guest brought in a painting imbued with sentimental value, a silent reminder of his mother's artistic aspirations. Inherited from his mother, who harbored dreams of a life as an artist, but was forced to pursue a practical career as a nurse due to the circumstances of the Depression. As a child, he would often lose himself in the artwork scenery, imagining adventures along with the depicted pathway. The inscription on the painting, compliments of George Sauter, coupled with the artist's unknown nickname Horny scrawled beneath it, sparked the guest's curiosity about a potential connection between his mother and the artist, a connection that remained shrouded in mystery. Upon examining the painting, it was made by George Sauter, a celebrated figure who had initially made a name for himself in the realm of stained glass artistry. Sauter's artistic journey eventually led him to painting, where he became associated with the New Hope School artistic movement. The style and subject matter of the landscape depicted in the painting aligned perfectly with the artistic approach favored by this school. Despite the painting's current state, obscured by a layer of grime, it still has a tremendous value. A professional opinion, through the cleaning, would significantly enhance the artwork's visual impact. However, the most transformative revelation came with the estimated auction value. Its current updated value at auction, however, is $50,000 to $70,000.
Attack, though.
A vintage Donald Duck toy unearthed from a forgotten barn. Inherited from her parents, this charming toy carries not only sentimental value, but also a surprising worth. This toy is a 1930s wind-up Donald Duck made of celluloid, a fragile but colorful material. Celluloid toys were often hand-painted, adding a layer of artistic detail to the mass-produced characters.
Celluloid is an interesting material because it has color inherent. When they make it, they can make it red.
This particular toy is attributed to George Borgfeldt, a figure who brought many iconic comic character toys. It features a long-billed Donald Duck, a design prevalent in the 1930s, including Mickey Mouse and Felix the Cat to the United States. Vibrant colors and intricate hand-painting further enhance the toy's charm. Most remarkably, the original colorful box adds significantly to its value. A unique detail, a smaller paper stamp on the toy's belly, identifies it as an import from Japan. This toy's wind-up mechanism activates a delightful carousel motion, making Donald Duck and his companions spin around. The appraiser estimates a value between $2,000 to $2,500 at auction.
$2,000 and $2,500.
Okay.
So that would be kind of fun.
The guest brought in a treasured map, a cherished piece inherited from their map-collecting grandfather. Unlike the other maps in the collection, this particular one held a special significance. It was the oldest. The guest, unaware of the map's true worth, estimated its value at a modest $625. However, upon examining the map, It's a rare gem, a genuine 1671 map by John Ogilby and Arnaldus Montanus, depicting the colony of Maryland, including Delaware. Elaborate details like the Calvert seal, the dedication to Lord Baltimore, and the specific paper used during that era all served as evidence of the map's authenticity. The map's unusual orientation, with west at the top rather than the north, is a customary practice used by 17th century mapmakers to reflect the perspective of European settlers arriving on American shores. This unique and historically significant map, far exceeding the guest's initial guess, is estimated to fetch a remarkable
$6,500.
Wow.
The guest presented a tea table, a seemingly ordinary piece of furniture they had acquired for a modest price decades ago. Little did she know, the table held a fascinating secret beneath its surface. Upon close inspection, unveiled the table's true identity, a rare antique crafted in England during the mid-18th century. This revelation transformed the tea table from a practical household item into a valuable historical artifact. The key to understanding the table's age and origin lay in its intricate design elements. Some notable features of the table include the graceful curves of the legs, their form extending elegantly beyond the molded top. These legs weren't simply straight supports, they were adorned with cabochon and leaf carvings, a decorative detail that spoke to the artistry employed in the table's creation. The craftsmanship extended to the table's feet, which featured exaggerated scroll forms embellished with even more leaf carvings. The finishing touch came in the form of tiny original brass casters, a subtle detail that not only added a touch of elegance, but also hinted at the table's age. Taken together, these design elements all pointed to a specific period in furniture making, placing the table's origin from 18th century England. Recognizing the table's exceptional quality, historical significance, and its remarkably well-preserved condition, the auction estimate is at
$10,000 to $15,000.
I didn't have a clue. That's fantastic.
The guest shared an intriguing story behind acquiring the painting as a gift from the artist Katharine Hepburn, a renowned international actress and hobbyist painter. The guest recounted a fond memory of visiting Hepburn's cottage, where the actress sought her advice on paintings. The appraiser discussed Hepburn's private life and her passion for painting.
This famous actress who died in 2003 at 96 years old,
Yes.
who won 4 Academy Awards, but yet a very private person.
Noting the rarity of her artworks on the secondary market. They admired the viewpoint of the watercolor, likely painted by Hepburn from her boat. The particular piece bore the initials KH and an original signature, which was deemed special, as most Hepburn signatures were done by her secretary. The original signature enhanced the artwork's authenticity and warranted an estimated value of around
$15,000 to $20,000.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
In July 2011, the guest and her husband bought this vase from a country auction in central Illinois after seeing an advertisement. Walking into the barn, they were immediately captivated by a vase, despite knowing nothing about the marks on the bottom.
Didn't know anything about the marks on the bottom, but we just fell in love.
The husband decided to bid on it, and after the nerve-wracking bidding process, they won the vase for $1,600. Upon closer inspection, the vase was clearly marked Denver Lanhuda with the date of 1903 and the LF symbol for Lanhuda faience. This type of pottery was created by William Long after leaving Weller Pottery and started his venture in Denver. Producing pieces like the Denver Denoraline, this vase featured a unique form with a soft green glaze and vegetal flowers, making it quite rare. Despite its exceptional condition, the appraiser estimated its retail value to be
$3,500.
Overall, the husband's bidding was a successful investment indeed. These 5 sets of shiny English silverwares sure do look stunning, and was bought at a garage sale by our guest 2 years ago. Looking at these pieces, they all match in their intricacy. However, what sets them apart is their unique marks. Set on the display table are a 3-piece set at the front and 2 individual pieces right behind. It's interesting to note that all these pieces have proper English hallmarks, which really set them apart from ordinary silverwares.
All of the 5 pieces have proper English hallmarks.
Judging by the matching maker's mark, some of these pieces were made by the J. Richard Attenborough Company Limited in Sheffield, England, and they are dated 1904 to 1905. Observing the neck of one of these pieces, we see the maker's mark and also the year it was made, in this case, 1903. Additionally, the silver coffee pot was made in London. Handles of these pieces were intentionally designed to look like wood. Although pieces like this are fairly easy to acquire, considering both their age and style, they would still sell fairly high at auction for
At $1,000 to $1,500 worth of silver.
Well, that's okay.
That is okay.
This archive is such a captivating piece, holding lots of interesting information and evoking nostalgia. Belonging to the guest's great-grandfather, Charles Edward Minor, who was an African-American sailor serving on notable ships like the Dale, Franklin, and the New Hampshire, and in wars like the Spanish-American War and World War I. This archive possesses a cabinet card that belonged to its original owner.
I finished up with the Constellation, but was on the Buffalo, the Brooklyn, the Vermont, a number of ships.
Along with an old photograph of Charles Edward Minor attached. Furthermore, there's a letter of promotion to the rank of Chief Petty Officer in 1917 also included. An artifact like this, especially one belonging to an African-American Navy serviceman, is rare and well preserved, placing its value at auction around
$2,500 to $3,500 at auction. And I'm just really glad you brought it in. Incredibly rare.
This is a collection of vintage advertising posters unlike any other. Tucked away in the ceiling of her basement, these colorful relics offer a glimpse into a bygone era of trolley car travel. These framed advertisements, dating back to 1933, were displayed inside trolley cars, captivating riders with enticing messages.
We have is the printer's code, which says 1033, which means that this was produced in October of 1933.
This amazing collection offers a snapshot of popular culture and consumer goods during the Great Depression. Upon moving into her 1930s-era row house in Baltimore, the guest discovered the trove hidden in the basement ceiling, likely used as insulation by a previous resident with a connection to the trolley system. This trove boasts a vibrant array of advertisements, from a sleek Art Deco design. Each poster offers a unique window into the past, capturing the design aesthetics and consumer trends of the era. Their excellent condition and historical significance make them highly desirable for collectors of advertising memorabilia. Considering the overall quality of the collection, the appraiser estimates the total worth to be between $2,500 to $3,000.
And I almost left him behind when I sold the house.
Well, this was a very fortunate accident.
Wow, I'll say.
This stunning lithograph might not seem remarkable at first glance, but further investigation can leave anyone in awe. This lithograph piece was purchased by the guest when she was still in college in 1956. John Woodrow Wilson was a highly skilled African-American lithographer, sculptor, painter, muralist, and art teacher who was driven by the political climate of his time. John Wilson created this piece in the 1950s. The lithograph beautifully depicts a mother and child. This piece bears a striking resemblance to another one of his works, in which a mother is depicted hiding and protecting her child from the Ku Klux Klan.
This is related to a painting he did where the mother is hiding from an attack from the Ku Klux Klan that can see out the window.
Examining the bottom left corner of the lithograph reveals it's dated 1956. A piece in this pristine condition, created by such an exemplary artist, would undoubtedly command a significant price at auction.
Between $7,000 and $10,000.
Well, I'm not selling it.
Let's delve into a captivating world where surrealism intertwines with personal nostalgia.
I had a memory of my grandma telling me that, this is one of Roland's, and when I was a kid.
Roland Penrose?
Yeah.
Behold, a mesmerizing lighthouse reflecting twice amidst surreal collages. Can you spot the bird-like coscomb in this artwork? These images originate from the enchanting Isle of Wight, the artist's hometown. Roland Penrose, the surrealist maestro and collector extraordinaire, is the creator of this piece. He has connections with great artists such as Picasso, Max Ernst, and even Roosevelt. It bears a heartfelt under backside frame for David and Judy, with love from Diana Rowley. Indeed, it is an authentic Penrose creation, adding to its value.
1,500 to 2,000, but actually, now we've seen this, I'm quite happy to put it up to 2,000 to 3,000, and then, of course, you've got to allow for somebody who just finds this completely irresistible. It is a marvellous story.
This piece is a war relic of the Crimean War around the mid-19th century. It was created to serve as a commemorative wares that was used for buttermilk. Most of the pink luster of this sword in a piece of earthenware was made in a town in England called Sunderland.
Sunderland had numerous potteries, and there were several potteries that specialized in the manufacture and decoration of pink luster on their wares.
There's a printed decoration produced by transfer prints across the body. Then it has flags on one side and a nautical verse on the front. Alongside the jugs are two portraits, with one supposedly depicting Napoleon III and the other Queen Victoria. Also, there's a note containing little information about the jug. A piece of such historical significance is highly prized by collectors for its decorative appeal and craftsmanship, and it's valued at
in the $1,500 to $2,500 range.
Oh, wonderful.
It's in great condition, and I'm thrilled that you brought it
Great.
A beautiful piece of art is what the guest presented in the form of a Amari charger. The guest had gotten it from her husband's parent. Amari is a porcelain that was made in the kilns of Arita, Japan. What's unusual about this piece is its decoration, which depicts mountain scenes.
Mountain scenes are what you see on porcelain that comes from scroll paintings, derivative of what's on the scroll paintings.
In the calligraphy is the date of production of 1877. Also, there are enamel decorations in the borders and lappers which circle the entire charger. The gold is present on top of the glaze, and a little fishing boat could be seen. Clearly, this piece is proof of the Asian art workmanship and creativity that would fetch a decent price of
$1,200. This one between $3,000 and $7,000.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Oh, very good.
Would you be surprised?
Surprising, yeah. Very surprised.
Simplicity is boring and an excuse for a bad design, but this piece is the exact opposite. Purchased by the guest in Naples, Italy, this piece is an endowment to the finger.
So I have had that ring since 1968. I had it sized down.
A unique combination of diamond with the elegance of platinum and the richness of gold. This piece presents a breathtaking sight. Based on its design elements and the rolls along the shoulders of the ring stylistically date it back to the 1940s. The durability of platinum guarantees this ring will stand the test of time, holding the precious diamonds securely in place. In addition, the gold accents add warmth and richness, creating a stunning contrast that is sure to turn heads. Together, these elements create a ring that is not just a piece of jewelry, but a work of art, a symbol of elegance and luxury that is sure to be cherished for a lifetime, with an estimated value of
$3,000 to $4,000.
Oh, very good.
Would you be surprised?
Surprising, yeah. Very surprised.
The guest brings in a curious instrument, a tenor lute shrouded in mystery, inheriting it from her late husband who acquired it at a farm auction for a song. The instrument itself is a fascinating hybrid. It is identified as a headstock in a moccasin style, a design prevalent in the 1920s tenor banjo. The rest of the instrument, however, resembles a mid-1920s mandolin. This curious combination hints at a unique, possibly lesser-known luthier or manufacturer. It is a tenor lute, a somewhat uncommon relative of the more familiar lute. It features a distinctive moccasin headstock, juxtaposed with a traditional mid-20s mandolin body.
Almost totally traditional mid-20s mandolin family instrument, and is combined together.
The lute is surprisingly well preserved, with minimal damage. It has a very beautiful, high-quality original case. While its rarity may not significantly affect its value, its quality and excellent preservation do. The appraiser estimates a value between $2,000 and $2,500, a significant increase from the $22.50 the guest husband paid.
Sell nowadays for between $2,000 and $2,500.
Oh, word. That's surprising.
Goodness.
Oh, I'm so happy.
The guest brought a portrait with a fascinating story behind it. The exquisite artwork was crafted by the esteemed American illustrator Norman Rockwell and portrayed the guest's husband, John, who served as a Pan Am pilot during the 1950s. After a memorable encounter with Rockwell, John was chosen to be the model for a series of paintings for Pan Am advertisements. The appraiser provided background information on Rockwell's illustrious career, highlighting his prolific work as an illustrator and his influence on American culture. The particular painting itself was on canvas and appeared to be in good condition, besides some yellowing over the years, likely due to exposure to smoke. The guest also had letters from Norman Rockwell stating his usual portrait fee of $5,000. Considering the popularity of Rockwell's work, the estimated potential value of the painting was
Range of $75,000.
Oh, goodness. I'm so happy.
The guest brought a set of cards that belonged to her husband, who enjoyed playing in the 1990s. The appraiser identified the cards as Magic the Gathering cards, created in 1993 by Richard Garfield in collaboration with Wizards of the Coast. They were considered the first trading card game with immense influence. They discussed the initial sets, including the Alpha Limited set with 295 cards and the Beta Limited set with 302 cards, which the guest possessed. The appraiser then focused on the Power 9 cards, considered the most powerful in the game and highly sought after by collectors. The cards were rare, high in demand, and could be exhibited as valuable works of art in a museum. The guest expressed surprise and gratitude for the unexpected value of the collection.
At auction between $65,000 and $100,000 in trading cards.
Oh my
gosh.
This guest bought a piece of harmonious heritage. Made in the early 20th century in Papua New Guinea, this piece is a fascinating cultural artifact that holds significant importance in the traditional music and ceremonies of the region. The Kundu Drum is an hourglass-shaped drum, typically carved from a single piece of wood and covered with a membrane made from the skin of a reptile. These drums are not only used for creating rhythmic beats, but also play a vital role in communicating messages and signaling important events within the community. Today, this piece serves as a reminder of Papua New Guinea's rich cultural history, and it's valued at
You could expect about $600 to $800 for this.
Okay, great.
These fun-looking Steins are characterized by their multiple facial expressions, were inherited by our guest from her mother-in-law. These are German Steins dating back to the circa 1900s, highlighting items that are of very high quality and can be visibly seen here, evident in their intricate designs. 4 of the 5 items are made by Scheiserholz, a German porcelain company.
4 of the 5 are by a company called Schierholz.
These pieces were hand-painted and handcrafted. One of the items is called the Drunken Monkey, and it really looks like a monkey. Another item is the Pig, and the third item is called the Sad Radish. Additionally, there's another item here called the Monk. At the bottom is a carved scene depicting an older man looking intently at a younger woman. And lastly, we have a traditionally styled salt-glazed stoneware. These beautifully designed porcelain items, with their diverse designs and delicate craftsmanship, command significant value at auction.
In the $300 to $500 range a piece. They're so whimsical and entertaining. I'm really pleased that you came. Thank you very much.
It's always fascinating to have a vintage book presented on the show, and today our guest has brought this old treasure. It used to belong to his great-uncle, who was a passionate book collector. The book, Porgy and Bess, is one of the greatest American classics.
First of all, Porgy and Bess is one of the great American classics. There's no question.
This piece was printed in 1935 as illustrated. There was a lot of controversy surrounding the book at the time when it was in vogue, especially among opera lovers. At the back of the book, we can only see that it is very limited edition, and we can also spot a number of notable signatures. Only 250 copies of this book were made, and this particular one is numbered 164. This book's hinges, however, have some cracks, and it's also a little worn around the edges. A bookbinder would easily fix the minor damages the book has suffered. For a collection this rare, in fairly good condition, it would easily sell at auction for
$5,000, maybe $7,000. With a little bit of restoration, maybe $200, $300, $400, it's probably closer to $10,000.